All right, let's do this. Okay. Hi, hello. My name is Brandy. If you're new here, hi. Welcome. It's been a while since I filmed, so I'm a little nervous just sitting in my office talking to my phone, when literally what I'm talking about today is what I talk about every other day at work, but it's just different and a little nerve-wracking when I'm just sitting in my office talking to my phone about it. Well, let's do this. Let me start off by saying that nothing I say should be considered as professional advice. It's more of what I know has worked for me and my customers in my store. I have been the certified color consultant for my Sally Beauty store for almost a year. I think it was official in April, maybe. But yeah, I've been at Sally Beauty Supply, like my store, since October of 2021. Before that, I did attend cosmetology school. I have about 500 hours out of the required 1,500 hours to become a licensed cosmetologist. So at the very least, I went through basics. So the stuff I teach people on the daily basis, how to do their hair and stuff, is stuff I learned in basics. And honestly, I enjoy helping people learn how to do their own hair safely. I love seeing things come out perfectly when they did it themselves and they're genuinely happy with it because it's something that they did. And I wanted to make it a point to be able to teach anyone that, you can do this. You just need to learn the little tidbits of information, like how much peroxide is in a 20 volume developer, which 6% of it is peroxide. And I will actually go more in depth on how they come up with that percentages and why it's 6%, but it's also got 20 volume. I'll go into that in another video. But today we're going to talk about one thing that I see a lot in my store. And it's people with years and years and years of black box dye on their hair, but they want to be blonde. It's not going to happen in one day. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but today's video is about how to do this yourself. But it's also not going to be done in this one video. This is what a realistic view of what the lightening process would look like if you do it safely. We want to go low and slow with it, so I'm doing this with a 20 volume developer, but I'm also doing this with our new charcoal lightener. So it does say it lifts 10 volumes in 10 levels in one step, so this basically can take you from a 1 to a level 10, which is like jet black hair color to platinum in one step. But I would not encourage doing that. So that's why with this, we're going low and slow with it and going with a 20 volume because it's better to be safe with it than accidentally fry off your hair in the process. So at the end of this video, you're actually going to see my hair being brassy. Because I want you guys and all my customers to know that everyone lifts warm and it's okay. You can't expect it to be perfect the first time because there's years and years of pigment or even a year of different pigment, in my case, stacked on top of each other. And you have to break through all those layers of pigment to be able to get to what you want. And the goal is to get me back to my blonde, and then I'm going back to my pink because I miss my pink hair. So we're going to start this, and then I'm also, where is that paper? Going to be using this document that I created for my store that we have actually been using for almost an entire year. And we'll literally give this to customers and be like, this is everything we discussed, but it's also in writing for you to have. And the first part actually goes over what ratios are, which is one of the main things about how to know how much developer to mix with your hair color. So, for example, for every 1 ounce of this or 1 scoop, we're going to do 2 ounces of the 20 volume developer. So that would be a 1-to-2 ratio. Or if you want to do a 1-to-1 ratio, it's 1 scoop to 1 ounce of developer. It's always the color or lightener first and then the developer. So now we know about ratios. But we're actually going to work our way through the instructions. But it's not going to be all in one video. It's going to be split up into parts. But we're going to focus on step 1 today, which I will also put this in my link tree so you guys can have this too. But we're going to go with step 1, which is the lightening process. And this time I'm going to be focusing on getting rid of the dark pigment first. So I'm not even going to touch my roots, because that is my natural regrowth. That's been about 2 months of regrowth. So I'm not even going to touch that, because that's going to lighten so much faster than the rest of my hair. Because it's lighter and it's closer to the scalp. So the heat from my scalp is going to make it process quicker. So this first lightening session, we're totally going to ignore my roots. And we're going to handle the rest of it. And then once I let it process and then rinse, I'm going to actually go ahead and do step 4, which is a protein treatment. Because this is going to be a once-a-week lightening session, which is a lot quicker than normal hairstylists would do. Please don't come after me for this. This is just what works for my hair. It's a lot better than doing it all in one day. That's what I say. But we're doing protein treatments, and then my hair is going to be in a hair mask pretty much every single day until I'm done. And then we're going to do protein treatments constantly after every lightening session, just to make sure. Because when you're lightening your hair, you're also stripping the protein out of your hair. So we also want to put that back so we're not damaging our hair a lot more than needed. So, like I said, I'm putting this in my link tree so everyone has access to it. But let's get started. Alright, so I changed my shirt into a shirt so that it doesn't matter if it gets messed up or anything. And then I sectioned my hair, and I know it looks so crazy, but I have a lot of hair. And sometimes even the big crocodile clips can't really hold them. I don't know what's going on with this side, but whatever. Alright, gloves on, because it is not fun to get lightener on your hands. And then we're going to start in the back and work our way up. Alright, so I'm going to put gloves on. And then whenever I do any kind of work with lightener, I always prefer to use my pintail brush just because it helps me get smaller sections, which is a lot better because it allows every strand to get saturated and minimizes the risk of like splotching and stuff like that. So, small sections. Alright, so like I said, we're going to start back here. I also have one of these as well. But yeah, we're going to small sections at the top. It's kind of difficult to get small sections when you're doing it yourself. But there's nothing wrong with slowing down and trying to do it correctly. So, like I said, we're avoiding the lighter parts, and we're just going to tackle all the dark pigment today. Okay. This is what it looks like. try not to get on my regrowth. Now I want to make sure it's thoroughly saturated. Oh, where did that little hair come from? Okay. First part done. Well, first layer done. All right. Like I said, it's okay to just slow down and pay attention to what you're doing. That line was a little too thick. There you go. I know my technique looks a little crazy. I do better, like actually getting my hands in there and like rubbing it in. There we go. My hair gets tangled very easily, so in order to keep my sections controlled, I have to comb them a lot. Set the spot back. Here, I'll let it to you. That was like the most perfect section so far tonight. All right. There we go. And there we go with the giant sections again. That's getting awfully close up there. No. Come on, there we go. There we go. Alrighty, so it's all done. I'm gonna let it process, and then I'm gonna rinse it out and shampoo, and then I will be back to show you how I do my protein treatment. But for now, I'm gonna clean up this mess. Alright, so this is my hair after letting it process for 30 minutes. As you can see, there's some in pieces on this side, which was the last side that I applied the lightener on, which there's still some dark spots. Yeah. So these dark pieces are going to be what I tackle first on my next lightening treatment. And then I'm going to go through and lighten the second darker pieces. And then everything else is going to get lightened. So now I'm just going to do a protein treatment. So we've got the Aphogee 2-step protein treatment, and then I also have the Ion 2-step protein treatment. They're both very similar, so I'm just going to mix them and use them both. So I'm going to go ahead and put in step 1, blow dry until it gets really hard. Then I'm going to rinse it out. And then it says to leave step 2 in for like a couple minutes. Usually I just leave it in overnight and then just rinse it out the next morning. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll be back to show you how this looks dried for part 1 of going from black hair dye to blonde. Alright, and okay, so yesterday I had to work, so I didn't get around to filming this. So this is actually 2 days after. Yeah. So last night I washed out another hair mask, let it dry, and then like my ends are really, really dry. So I've got some of this Blonde Brilliance bonding conditioning oil in my hair. So I'm probably, no, not probably. I am going to end up getting my hair trimmed after I'm done with all of this. But aside from some breakage, like, I'm not losing chunks, so there's that. But yeah, let's talk about this. I do have some hot roots going on. And then still some really dark pieces. I'm going to blame it on the fact that this was the last section that got done. Because, like, everything else back here, it's a little bit more lighter. Of course, it's a little darker at the roots, but not at, like, darker closer up here. But not as bad as, like, right here. So I'm probably going to use foils on this part the next time. Which will be in about a week. Till then, it's going to be a lot of oil treatments going into my hair. And then next week will probably be the time we tone it. And then I'll get a trim. And then the following week, I'll put the pink in my hair. So yeah, this is how the first lightning session went. Which honestly, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad at it at all. Like, it did good for it being like a 20 volume developer. So, just a little dryness going on. Nothing too terrible. I can handle that for a week. But yeah. So, after I'm done filming this, I'm going to probably throw my hair up in some braids, edit this, and then it'll be up for you guys to watch. Have a beautiful day. Bye.